In the investigation into that dismembered remains of a woman found in a Brooklyn park, police have now identified the body as that of 26-year-old Brandy Odom from Canarsie. Chopper 2 was over the scene as investigators scoured the area looking for clues. They believe Odom was killed elsewhere and then dumped in the park. A dog walker found her head and torso on Monday.
Brandy Odom was a young woman with dreams of building a better future for herself. But in April 2018, those dreams were tragically cut short in a brutal and calculated crime that shocked New York. What started as a sinister plot for financial gain turned into a horrifying act of violence, leaving Brandy's dismembered remains scattered in a Brooklyn park. But who was behind this chilling murder? And what disturbing lengths did they go to in an attempt to cover it up? This is the tragic case of Brandy Odom. "26-year-old Brandy Odom resided at a home in Rosedale, Queens, New York, and she had two other roommates, a woman named Adele Anderson and Corey Martin. The women were engaged in commercial sex work in their home for Corey, who operated as their pimp. According to prosecutors, Corey exercised absolute control. He wouldn't allow the women to wear clothes inside the home. He required them to call him daddy, and all the money they gained from customers went to him. They couldn't even shower, eat, or buy anything without Corey's permission. Corey was also violent. Adele had testified that he punched her in the eye and fractured her shin by slamming her into a fridge. She also said that he raped her with things like brooms, hammers, and liquor bottles, and had pointed a gun at her and put a knife to her throat. Corey had also beaten and threatened her two sons, ages 8 and 2 years old. He had also discussed the idea of murdering them and their dad after taking life insurance policies in their names. When he suspected the 8-year-old was telling others about the abuse within the home, it was said that Corey put the gun inside the boy's mouth. Corey eventually turned his attention to Brandy, and so in March and December 2017, a murder plot began. Corey and Adele had fraudulently obtained 2 life insurance policies in Brandy's name, taking out a total of $200,000, making Adele the beneficiary. They made premium payments to the life insurance companies by Western Union money orders and by using a debit card in Brandy's name. According to prosecutors, Corey chose Brandy as the perfect victim, saying that nobody would miss her. Then in early April 2018, Corey told Adele to leave the home, and she did. She went to stay with her mom. When she got back, Corey showed her Brandy's body lying on the bedroom floor. Corey had strangled Brandy to death. Corey had opened the window to lower the temperature inside the bedroom where Brandy's body was, trying to make it harder for a medical examiner to determine her time of death. Corey and Adele then went to the Green Acres Mall on Long Island to buy cleaning supplies and a vacuum to clean up the murder scene. He got home and scrubbed and vacuumed the carpet in the bedroom to erase traces of blood. On April 6, 2018, Corey searched Home Depot's website for a DeWalt 12-amp corded reciprocating saw, and later searched YouTube for how to insert blade for reciprocating saw. Adele testified that Corey used an electric saw to dismember her corpse in the bathtub after covering the bathroom surfaces with heavy-duty garbage bags to avoid leaving evidence of the killing. Then in the early morning of April 8 and April 9, 2018, they then disposed her body parts in Canarsie Park in Brooklyn. On April 10th, Martin conducted dozens of internet searches for news articles, including "Search area expands after dismembered body found in Canarsie Park in Brooklyn." Corey also looked at a Twitter post titled "Person walking dog discovers remains of woman in Brooklyn Park." The next day, Corey searched YouTube using the search term exclusive interview of mother of girl found in park. Martin became a suspect within weeks after cops discovered video of him backing his car into the driveway of his home and putting large plastic bags believed to contain her dismembered remains into the trunk. A cadaver dog had also picked up Brandy's scent in one of their cars. It wasn't until November 2020 that Corey and Adele were charged, initially with wire fraud and aggravated identity theft for taking out policies on Brandy and trying to collect on them after her murder. A month after Adele took a plea deal in the case, Corey was charged with murder for hire. Adele appeared as a government witness, saying that she had introduced Brandy to Corey in 2016 and described how the murder plot came about, saying that Corey was inspired by crime shows like Dexter, a TV show about a serial killer who dismembered his victims, and The First 48, a true crime TV show about police tactics for tips on how to get away with murder. However, Corey's lawyers argued that Adele and Brandy got into a fight after Corey and Brandy started having sex, and that the fight gave Adele a motive for unaliving Brandy. The lawyer stated that Corey had no reason to hate Brandy as he didn't know her that well, and that Adele was also upset that Brandy had sexual relations with two of Adele's baby daddies. But prosecutors argued that Corey was motivated by greed, as he was $62,000 behind on his mortgage. And upon Brandy's death, he began looking up reviews for luxury cars in anticipation of a financial windfall. After hearing the gruesome details of Brandy's murder plot, a federal jury found 37-year-old Corey guilty in March 2024, and so he was sentenced to life in prison in November 2024. He was also sentenced to a concurrent sentence of 20 years in prison for wire fraud conspiracy and a consecutive term of 2 years for aggravated identity theft. It was not said if Adele was sentenced. The family of Brandy described her as a young woman with plans who liked to be her own boss. She said that Brandy had moved out when she was 18 to begin pursuing many job training certificates. She also said that she was working toward a job as a school security guard and hoped to get her own apartment.
My daughter was a loving child. She was sweet. She didn't have any enemies.
Brandy was a smart, educated, spunky, ambitious young lady. What happened to her is very terrible.
Brandy deserved so much more than the fate she suffered. What do you think about this case? Let me know in the comments. And as always, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to support the channel. See you next time on Melanin Mysteries.